Good evening and welcome to SAS Sober and Smiling. My name's Rob.
I'm Liam.
I'm Nick.
I'm Damon.
And I'm Jamie.
So welcome to tonight's episode. I think we're on episode 24, which is really good. Thank you for all the comments and the likes from last week. The episode did really well, so thanks a lot. This week's episode is going to be all about complacency. So complacency in your recovery. Can you tell? Can you? How do we see complacency? I see complacency obviously quite a lot. When you first come into recovery, you're all on this pink fluffy cloud, and if you're like me, then you came out of rehab and you're all sort of like all fresh as a daisy, and everything's going great, and there comes a little milestone in your recovery life where things get a bit boring, a bit monotonous. It's usually about 6 months to about a year in, and that's when I see complacency in people. It's the change of attitude, the change from it's not a down attitude. It's more of a positive attitude. There's too much positivity.
Yeah, they feel like they've got it.
Yeah. You feel a bit invincible, and then you start like skipping a meeting, or you start to not be around people. That's I see that a lot in people in recovery. They don't think they should be around people like us. Yeah. Even though they are one of us. Yeah. It's like, well, I don't need to be part of you lot anymore because you're dirty addicts, and then people try and shy away from what they are. Yeah.
I put my hands up. I was like that at first.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, it's an honesty program. When I first came into sobriety and into the rooms, I got a bit like that. So I came in, and then I'm looking around and I'm thinking, well, I'm not as bad as you. Yeah. I'm not this. I'm not that. You know what I mean? And it's addiction at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing. Yeah.
But we just have to remember who we are. Yeah. And where we come from. Yeah. Because I can do it. I can become complacent with what I
think we all can. I think we all can, can't we?
But it's for me. I have to then go back to make sure I go back and revisit what it was like, because it's easy not to. Yeah. And it's easy for your mind to cloud over and go, well, it wasn't actually that fucking bad. Yeah. When it was dreadful.
Well, it's about that thing, isn't it? It's your ego, really, isn't it? Yeah. That's how I ended up relapsing a few times, because I came in and stayed around for a couple of months and then just thought I had it in the bag. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And thought, I can run this thing by myself. I know what's what. I can go out and maybe try a few drinks here and there and da-da-da-da-da. And it never, ever ends up like that. Ever. Yeah. With an addict mind anyway. There's people, we all know there's people out there who aren't addicts. They can go out for a drink and put it down and whatnot. But I thought that when I first came in and I was learning more about myself through the program, I thought that I had it down. Yeah. And I was like, I can kind of go away now and experiment a bit and think I can do this and maybe go out for a drink, maybe do this, and it just all led back to the same thing.
But it's your old habits coming into place, isn't it? So it's your old, obviously, when you come into recovery, you're told that you have to create a new life for yourself. You have to think differently. You have to not be around those people anymore. Yeah. And then when complacency sets in, it's like you start reverting back to type, don't you?
Yes.
So you start going out to places that you used to go out to because you think you're okay. You start talking to the people that you used to talk to, and the people that are not on your side or whatever. It's those sorts of things. You just start reverting back to type, and we all know type. Yeah. I've got a type. You've got a type. We've all got different types, and we all showed addictions in different ways. It's that bit we need to look for. I mean, I was quite like a workaholic and quite spendy on my money and stuff, and money and illness was a big thing for me. So it's complacency and letting those sort of things come back into my life. Yeah. And I can't see it sometimes, and I need other people to do that. Yeah. And that's where you have to be around other people.
You have to stay connected.
Yeah.
Period.
Because they'll see it before you.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Yeah. You won't see it yourself, will you? You won't see complacency yourself. No, you just think you're on top of the world. It's other people that's got the responsibility to go, actually, you're being a fucking twat again.
Yeah. And that's like, so that complacency. It's, you know, for me, it's about being too confident with your recovery as well, because I've done that in the past. You know, I've got too confident, and that's when it comes back and bites you in the arse. But I always find complacency when I've, you know, done my programming, my routine in the past, and it's I've set my standards and my targets too high, you know, which isn't manageable, because I'm not a very manageable person. So it's about doing something and doing it to the best of your ability, because like I say, if I, you know, the problem is with me in my head, routine and structure and consistency is the best thing for me, but then I get pissed off with doing the routine and the consistency and the structure. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no dopamine. It's just, you know, it's the same mundane thing every single day. So like I say, so I've kind of toned it down a bit now, so it doesn't really take me any more than 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night. But
that's same as me.
But it's really helping me, you know, because in the past when I've done it, I've spent half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night, and it's just not. You know, to say you've got to do it for the rest of your life, it just ends up becoming.
See, I used to be dead strict with it though. I used to get up at a certain time, do all my routine at a certain time. Now I've made myself a bit more flexible with it, but I make sure in the day, whether it's the morning or late in the morning, if I have chance, if I'm busy, I'll do it in the afternoon. But I always make sure I've got that 15-20 minutes set aside where I can just get connected within myself. Do you know what I mean?
Think you can do it at the same time every day. I've done that before.
No.
You're setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah.
Because life will always get in the way. And then if you don't do it at a certain time that you used to, it's then you're beating yourself up because you didn't do it that.
And then it'll tell you that something's going to go wrong. Yeah. And that's what, like I say, in the past I've kind of done it that military. You know, I get up at 5:30, have a shit at 6:30. Do you know what I mean? Coffee. You know, bang, bang, bang. And if any of those things kind of fell out of sequence, I'd think my head's gone. You know, that's it.
There's another thing I want to get out as well. And I will let someone else talk. It's a thing that crossed my mind the other day. I think you posted something, Jamie. I can't quite remember if it was you or not. You posted a video saying, I kind of forgot who I am outside of recovery or something. It was something that you posted, And I think at first you've got to be really strict with it until you get yourself, you counterbalance yourself.
Yeah.
But there's this thing where people, I'm never going to be able to go out again, go for a meal again. I'm never going to be able to go here again and stuff like that. When you get further into your sobriety and you get stronger, yes, you are. You can go out and have fun. You can go out to places. You can go out to meals and stuff. I do. But what I do is make sure that I've got the right people around me, or I've got a plan to get out of there every single time. And I think that's really important as you get further on in your sobriety, because if you are full on into it, you're 100% right. You do forget who you are outside of sobriety, and that can lead to bad things as well.
I mean, I do go out and I do socialise. You know, I don't mind going out for meals. I don't mind, you know, whatever. But I don't mind being around people that have had a few drinks. But you know what? Kind of when it gets to that stage when everyone's on a different wavelength.
You know, it's time to leave.
That's when I just don't want to be there. It's not because I'm scared of, you know, relapsing, because that's not comes into the equation. It's more that I just don't want to be in that environment anymore.
100%.
Because I always used to thought I loved being in the chaos and the you know, the noise and the centre of attention, but I realised I don't at all. You know, I don't like that.
When you're sober, it's just head thrashing.
Yeah.
First time I went out with, you know, the mates when I was working at Butlins, we went to Buster's. I was alright for a few hours. Then they all got on the shots, and you know, they all know my situation. Nobody offered to get me an alcoholic drink. They know that I'm just going to say no anyway. But they were all fine until they got on the shots, and then they got on the shots and they're stumbling around and they're repeating themselves, and it's just, I'm going to have to go. And it's like,
they then start shoving it in your face, don't they?
Yeah. It's just like, they're like, wow, what's up with this? It's just not my cup of tea anymore. You're all arsehole phase now, and it's no fun for me, because you're asking me to sit here and watch your drinks and your cokes while you disappear, and it's like, I'm not
into that.
I'm not into that. So do you know what I mean? So I totally understand that. But at the same time, you know, I still go out with them people, because before they get to that phase, it's a laugh. Do you know what I mean? And it's just knowing that they know that I'll not have a drink, and they'll understand that, but they don't, you know, they don't treat you any different, as long as you're all there for the same reason, which is just a good time at the end of the day.
I think people forget that you get recovered to have a better life. So the road to recovery is the road to like a better life. Yeah. So yes, your life's different, but it doesn't mean that everything fucking stops. It don't mean that you can't go out. So in the start, yes, you don't go to pubs and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but the whole point of recovery is to have a better life.
I'm going to say something a bit
It's,
controversial
it's
here.
absolutely fine to do that.
Do you think that it's quite easy if you're not careful as an addict to become addicted to the program?
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you just
100%.
lose your whole
Yeah.
real self within that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, the program is amazing. It's an amazing program. Like you just said, it's there to give you a better life.
Yeah, but people become sort of like recovery robots.
That's my point. Yeah.
Their whole life is led round this fucking disease, and
Yeah.
you're told that, and it is told that you'll never be fixed.
Mhm.
You always have to call yourself an addict or an alcoholic. You can't say a fucking sentence without calling yourself one.
Yeah.
And that you'll be forever miserable.
Yeah.
And you're not.
You're not. No.
It's
Absolutely
a road to
not.
recovery. That's
Absolutely.
the point.
I've got to agree with that.
In recovery, you have a better life. If you don't come out of this a better life, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
Yeah.
You might as well just stay pissed.
Exactly.
Stay
Yeah.
where you was.
It's so true though.
But you know, you just said something there, which it was interesting because in the past when I got sober, and I think the longest I ever did was about a year and a half, and then I started telling myself I was a recovered addict, but I realised that was a big no-no for me. And I know everybody each to their own, but you know, for me, I'll always be an addict because the way my head works, if I tell, excuse me, sorry,
Come on, Barry.
if I tell myself I'm a recovered addict, my head will tell me that I can go out and drink and take
Yeah.
drugs sensibly again.
Yeah.
So I always like to remind myself that I am an addict.
Sure.
You know, and I know it's each to everyone's own, but for me, I don't think it works for me telling me that I'm recovered.
I don't think it works for anybody telling anybody that they're recovered. No.
Can I just read something out? I showed Rob before we started this. I found this. I think it was on somebody's podcast. I think it was some famous guy. I'm not quite sure, but I came across with it. And it says, porn equals loneliness sold as sex. Alcohol equals escape sold as fun. Drugs equals numbness sold as peace. Scrolling equals distraction sold as rest. Fast food equals poison sold as pleasure. Luxury equals emptiness sold as purpose. Smoking equals addiction sold as relaxation. Notifications equals control sold as importance. And social media equals validation sold as friendship. Don't feed the best parts of being human with artificial fuel. I think that's pretty like bang on, that is. I think that is bang on. Honestly, I think that kind of sums everything up, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
You know?
Artificial fuel, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and it is, yeah. But it's easy to get, you know, that when you get kind of complacent, I mean, you can cross addict, you know, because for me, you know, and that, so I think that's why it's been such a massive journey for me, because as I say, I've been in rehab 4 times, and the first couple of times I went and, you know, although I was doing cocaine, I just said I had a problem with alcohol, but because I always took the coke after the alcohol, I'd never blame it on that. It was just alcohol problem.
Yeah.
And I put the alcohol down, then I started doing the coke.
Yeah.
You know, and then I thought, well, I've not got a problem with prescription medication, so I put the cocaine down and then just started on prescription medication.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's mad how your kind of brain works, and because for me, I feel like my head's always looking for a, you know, and it has done, and now I think I've had to go through that process where I've always looked for a, you know, a back door that I've not kind of looked into, thinking, well, maybe I'll be all right with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think for me, I feel like I've had to go through the whole process to get to where I am, because I've got my way of thinking is very, very strong, you know, and it's took me a long time to understand that, you know, drinking drugs aren't the problem, it's me.
Yeah. 100. That's it. 100%. Yeah.
Do you know that you said about the I think it was a little while ago about dopamine hit and stuff.
Yeah.
That I mean, obviously that's the major factor with us is we take the dopamine levels way past normal, and we have such hits, and that's why we continue to drink and continue to take drugs. Is that your dopamine level goes? It's a higher expectation, but it's only about a year, 6 months to a year, I think it is, that once you're off recovery, your dopamine levels will go back to normal.
Right. Okay.
And then because you've got to retrain
Your
your
brain.
brain's pattern to understand that a smaller dopamine hit is absolutely fine. So Yeah, I found that quite interesting.
That is interesting.
So if I went and smashed an ecstasy pill tomorrow, I feel like I did 20 years ago.
If you, that's.
I mean, I'm not good.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But
I think
logically,
I think what would happen if you did that is the whole thing would be a lot worse.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you're not starting again. Do you know what I mean? You've not gone back to baseline. You're in recovery and you've stopped and you're living a better way of life. But your body, probably, if you was to put that in your body now, you wouldn't go back there. You'd kind of start where you left off, and if not worse.
Yeah, exactly. But do you know what? I know I'm kind of changing the subject here, but do you know what my edge just whispered to me? You never had a problem with ecstasy tablets. Seriously,
It's mad, isn't it?
that's what it's just done in my head. That's literally what it's just done.
It's mad. Mad.
Next week, Jamie's going to be in all 90s rave gear.
It just made me. That's what I mean. It's madness, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just that
it
little
is.
voice coming, that little nice subtle voice. You never had a problem with them. You'll be all right.
That's it.
Imagine with something as strong as ecstasy, though, because depending on the strength of it, if you were to take it now, imagine that'd be a hell of a shock to the system and that. Because obviously your body's not been used to it for that long. And ecstasy, I found, was one of either gives you a small sort of sharp climb, or all of a sudden it goes bang, it just hits you all at once.
I think that's the thing though, because even, you know, I mean, I hadn't done ecstasy for a lot of years, you know what I mean, that was just an example. But even when I did ecstasy, even for the first time, it weren't, oh, I'll start with one, it was, oh, I'll start by taking 4.
Yeah, I
Quad
was a bit
dropping.
like that. Yeah.
If one's good, 4's going to be fucking amazing, you know what I mean? So it's, yeah, you know what I mean, one, you know, it probably would do the job, but it's, why take one if you've got 4?
Again, that's an addict head, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's an addict right there for
That's
you.
an addict mindset.
That's an addict right there for
I think
you,
I
you know.
did it a couple of times in my life, and the last time I did it, I ended up raving to a church burglar alarm. So,
So what do you think would happen if you took one ecstasy tablet?
I don't know.
Where do you think you're?
To be honest, I think you'd end up straight back where you was,
Yeah, definitely.
and it'd be a whole lot worse. You'd have.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I've got some days.
We're not saying go out and take ecstasy, by the way.
I'll use yesterday as an example. I'll not go into too much detail. I went and met my mum, and you know, we didn't exactly have a heart to heart as such, but you know, some apologies were swapped before she left. And usually I feel vindicated that I've been relieved of, you know, all the things that, you know, I've been blamed for or that I blame myself for. And I just felt sad, and on the way home I just thought, would it be so bad if I went and bought a bag of weed? Just because I felt that bad and drained, you know, just from a couple of apologies that, you know, which, let's be honest, I've waited a long time for, which I never thought I'd get, but it didn't. Do you know what I mean? It was just that instant go, you know, and I just thought, I can't, do you know what I mean? And that's the... You know, I'll be all right. I've got to sit with this feeling. I'll be all right tomorrow. And you know, I woke up this morning. I weren't all right. I still felt a bit, you know,
mixture of emotions.
Yeah, you know, like Jamie says, he has some days where he wakes up and thinks like, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? And I did wake up feeling rubbish. Like, you know, what's the point? I'm still feeling like this, and I've basically got what I've been asking for all these years. But it hasn't made me feel any better. Do you know what I mean? But you know, it's that thing of sitting there and just reminding myself that I've got a roof over my head, I've got food in my cupboards, I've got, do you know what I mean? I'm not in a bad situation, I'm not in a bad place, and although you feel a bit rubbish, it's not going to last forever.
Yeah. But do you know why you don't feel any better? Because you said you've been like waiting for that. It's because it's external validation. It's
Exactly.
Not. That's what I mean. It's not fixed. It's not fixed anything inside. It's because you waited for something which is like an external validation. That's kind of not how it works.
Did you kind of internally build it? You know, sort of build up to this moment, and when the moment happened, it almost like a bit of a deflation or something like that.
I didn't build up to it because you know, when I got back in touch with my mum, having done all the work I've done, I wasn't going to bring anything up. I thought, right, I've written all that down. I've moved past that, or at least, you know, in my head I've gotten past that. It doesn't ruin my life anymore. I don't give it any second thoughts. It's just one of them things. If you've got, you know, water under a bridge, every now and again, sometimes it might get brought up. Do you know what I mean? But it's not. I mean, it's not something I let ruin my life anymore, like I did used to do.
So do you ever go to the place? You know, you just said about you had like a whatever it was, a thought of that buying a bag of weed would make you feel better. Do you ever play that forward in your mind? Because I guarantee it wouldn't make you feel better, especially the morning after. Do you ever then fast forward it and go, well, actually, if I did, what would happen? Because for me, if I took a drink and I think it's going to make me feel better, I can play it forward and go, it fucking won't, because I'll be divorced, I'll be homeless, I'll be fucking waking up in the police cell. I wouldn't know what the fuck's going on, but it 1,000% wouldn't make me feel better.
No, I didn't play it forward. I just sort of ignored the thought and carried on home. Do you know what I mean? There's no point giving that thought a second thought, if that makes sense. It's,
I think what you've just said is something you learn within recovery. That's part of your toolbox as such, isn't it?
Yeah. Just to play
it forward. There's a little thing that I've said numerous times before, and I'm sure you guys have heard it a million times because I've said it loads. But it really nails it. It's I heard someone in a meeting once say, my head, when I'm thinking about going up and having a use up and it comes in there, it's like a trailer to a film and it shows you all the best bits, but the movie's fucking shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's that sums it up really, really well.
Yeah,
because it does. It plays you all the good bits.
Yeah. If
but
I
it's going to be the same.
Yeah,
the same scenario.
Thought, it takes me back to me when I was in my 20s, when I was in my prime, and it was all good fun. I was socialising.
Exactly.
It doesn't let me see the last 7 years of my life. It's been an absolute car crash.
Yeah.
You know, but like I say, I'm like that now, and that was one of the last things to come. But every time that thought comes in, I thought that's not how it's going to fucking go.
No, it's not.
It's not going to play out like that.
No. If you all sit back and think about it, what it would do to your life.
Yeah.
So what it would do to my life, what it would do to your life, what it would do to your life.
Yeah,
so if you had that one drink or that one fucking use,
game over.
That's it.
Because we can guarantee that home is going to be fucking wrecked. Your marriage is going to be wrecked.
Yeah.
Your job or your fucking business is going to be wrecked.
Yeah.
Your friends and family, all that credibility, it's all just going to be...
Everything's gone.
Fucked.
That's it, yeah. And it won't go overnight.
It would take a while.
Yeah, but you'd lose a lot, yeah.
For probably 2 seconds of pleasure, because that's all that's all I got out of it was that 2 seconds of the first gulp, and that was pleasure. The rest of it was fucking downhill.
Yeah, carnage.
Just like mental torture.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it was relief for those few seconds, but the rest of it was just
that mental torture. I'm pleased you said that, because that's, you know, most mornings I wake up, I say to myself, I'm pleased I'm not woke up with that mental obsession to want to drink and take drugs.
Yeah.
You know, because that was just like 24/7 in my head. From the minute I woke up till the minute I went to sleep, I did not stop thinking about drinking and drugging.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's so nice for that. You know, that is like mental like torture. It's just horrible. It's just, you know, it's all you're bothered about. All you know, getting that hip fix, line or pill, whatever it is you want to do. And it's just completely left me now, and it's such a nice.
Oh, it is, yeah. Nice but it's easy to forget that, isn't it? And that comes, complacency comes into that, because we easily forget how bad that was. But now you've said that, yes, I can remember 24 hours a fucking day, every single second was drink related.
Yeah.
Was either getting it, having it, hiding it, fucking, but every single second.
Yeah. Every single second was kind of consumed by how you was going to get it, where you was going to get it, how you was going to do it. Yeah.
How I was going to hide it, everything.
Do you know, it's funny that, because when I was in the madness, the actual taking of the substance or the drinking was secondary. It's the whole thing leading up to it and how you're going to get it, where you're going to hide it and stuff. That becomes a buzz.
Yeah. It is.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You thinking that you've got one over on people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I thought about it. It was just like fucking great.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the sneaking about, because that's where that's the you get the dopamine.
That's the dopamine hit.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And then you've got it. You know exactly where it's going to send you, but you just do it anyway.
Yeah.
But that's when you're stuck in that cycle and you're back in active addiction. But you know, I've got like a good mental blockage to it now, where I think, you know, as much as my head said it would be a good idea, I know it's fucking not going to end like that.
No. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No, it's quite scary. The thought of it is frightening.
Yeah.
It really is. It's enough to fucking put me off. I wouldn't ever go. I'd rather be dead, I think, than go back to that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's when I know, you know, you say you've got another relapse in you, but I won't come back from another relapse.
No, I wouldn't.
I just, you know, I'm like I say, I've had my last chance now, I reckon.
Yeah.
I ain't got any more chances left.
Yeah. I think the main thing is you just got to keep connected, haven't you? Within recovery, you have to keep connected, whether it's coming to meetings, whether it's seeing people who's in recovery, doing your routine, sending out grats lists, whatever. Make that connection every day, and don't get complacent
100%.
about it.
You've got to be religious in what you do, and that doesn't mean that you have to follow everybody else or do whatever program. Just religious in what you do and what you've done.
And you've got to put it before everything, because anything you put in front of your recovery, you'll lose.
Yeah.
So it has to be the forefront of your mind every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way I have to do it, for me. Because like I say, it has to come first. It has, and some people, find that's... You have to be selfish in your recovery. I mean, I know you're quite selfish in your addiction, but you've got to be selfish in your recovery and kind of put yourself first, which we never do we?
No.
We always put everybody else in front of you, whereas it's always at the bottom of the pile. So, and I think that's why some people kind of don't like, the person that's in recovery sometimes, because they think they look at you as like selfish because you don't want to do stuff because you don't people please anymore, and you don't just do anything to keep everyone happy for an easy life, because that is the stuff that triggers me, and I just have to say, if I know something's going to turn my head, I just have to say, no, it's not for me.
Exactly.
No, 100%. I think it's important to what you said, to be, you've got to be part of this community somehow. Got to be.
And you have to be in it for yourself. You have to want it.
But whether it's meetings or your thing, or whatever, or talking to sponsors or whatever, you have to be connected to like-minded people.
Yeah.
Have to be. There's no two ways about it. In some small area, because we're the ones that can see it, and I think that's why some people stay away from groups. So when you see people start to fail or start to go off, they stop coming to meetings, they stop talking to you, they stop interacting with you, because they know that we're the only people that can see their shit coming.
I find that disheartening though, do you know what I mean? I don't, when you see people turn up a couple of times and then you don't see them again, and it's because you think, people turn up a couple of times and you think they're serious. Do you know what I mean? It's not to say they're not serious, they may not be there yet, but it is disheartening to see new faces and then not see them again, do you know what I mean? And I do come in some weeks and think, well, I wonder if alright.
Great, what if?
The thing is, though, you've got to, the sad thing is, you've got to go out there and do the research. Do you know what I mean? You have to experience that in order to go, right, I want to be sober, I believe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't just come in because someone's told you to come in, or you're trying to please someone again. You have to be in it full or not in it at all.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just, I just remember how much of an arsehole I was, and even though I live on my own, I still, I could be in an empty room and have an argument with myself back then. So
I do every day.
I wouldn't ever believe that of you.
It's no, but it's for me. It's I'd like to sit here and say I'll never do it again, because like I said, I do have them thoughts when I have bad days. So I'll just go and get a bag of weed. But then I also have the thoughts of, no, because you were a right turd, mate. You used to be a cunt.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm kind of saying, honest, because when people come to see me in here, they say, are you ever going to drink or take drugs again? I say, if I'm honest, I can't guarantee I'm not going to, but I know I'm not going to do it today, and that's how I have to live my life.
Yeah.
Because all I've got is today, really.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what works for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So complacency's a hard one, really.
Any final thoughts, Nick?
No, off the top of my head.
I think if you see it, you've got to call it out, and that's the thing. Like I bang on about this. You've got to call it out to people, because we'll see it before the other person sees it, and that's the big thing. And it's a hard thing to do as well, and it's a hard thing to say, because you if they're at that point, then their pride and ego are fucking up.
It took, I must admit, it took me ages to take accountability for myself.
Yeah.
And admit who I was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It took me ages because I didn't want to.
But, as well as what you just said there, call it out and tell them, because you'll spot it before they do. But if they're in that mindset that they're going to
they won't listen to you.
They're not going to listen to you anyway.
No, they won't.
And people will generally do what they're going to do and then tell you they fucked up. They never really tell you before, I'm thinking of going and getting a gram of coke.
Yeah.
They'll buy the gram of coke and sniff it, and then tell
Then
you
ring, mate, I've done that loads. I've done that loads.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
But if you've got an honest program, you call it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind, you call it out.
Yeah,
and
yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
You call a twat a twat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I
Absolutely.
think any one of you guys are slightly going off track, I'll tell you.
Yeah. No, it's the
Good,
best
and
way
I
to
want-
be.
I want you to.
Because that's the sort of person I am.
Yeah.
No, but
We'll
that
fucking tell you.
is the
Right,
best
one
way
open
to
on a
be.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
It's the
not
best
too
way
bad.
to be.
Because it won't be there.
But yeah, it's the best way to be. That is.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I'd want that done to me.
Mm.
Because I can be like Marmite anyway. People
Yeah.
will take me or they won't take me, and I can come across as quite a twat anyway. So I'd rather people just tell me that.
I think it's better to be stern now. There's no point beating about the
Oh,
bush,
absolutely,
is there, you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
Well, like I say, then if we're not telling you, then we're not being honest, are we?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So like I say, so the honesty kind of
It's
goes
got to
both.
be,
It goes
yeah.
both ways.
And that's that's why people fall away from meetings, because they don't like the honesty.
Yeah. Exactly.
They don't want to be told that
Exactly.
they're not doing, or the other person thinks that they're slightly suffering.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to hear it.
No.
You don't want to hear
No.
it.
100%.
That's time up,
That
believe
was
it
a
or not.
good little
That went
session,
really
that,
quick
wasn't it?
again. Yeah.
It was good.
So, thank you for listening. We're here at Holton Hill in Skegness. Pop along on a Thursday. You can join in the chat, and we're on plenty of different platforms. Nick, what are we on?
On Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Last week we racked up our highest on YouTube so far. Okay, only 8 views, but still, for us, that's good.
No, it's
Means
good,
the
man.
message is getting out there. Just past 2,500 followers on TikTok and
Awesome.
500 on Instagram, and we're even getting a bit better on YouTube. So
Excellent.
Like
getting there slowly, it's all going good.
like Rob just said, if you fancy coming in and chatting with us though,
Oh God, yeah.
drop Nick a message on any of the platforms and come and have a chat with us. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
We'll have the tea cakes ready.
Yep.
get some tea cakes. But yeah, no, 100%. Anybody that wants to come in Thursday, 7:00, give us a message. You can come in and have a little speak up.
Yep.
Brilliant. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very
See
much.
later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you later.